Vintage Gamer is your destination for today's retro game hunts, located down in Birmingham, and lots of really awesome stuff to see, including a copy of Earthbound, which we are going to get to. But first, I want to show you guys the layout and what to expect. Lots of games, as you can see, and we're going to be going through them as meticulously as possible. When you visit yourself, give Nick a hello and his crew and let them know that you saw the episode. I will link their Facebook in the description. And all I would ask from anybody that's new here, please subscribe. Please subscribe. It's a massive help out to the channel and it really just keeps things ticking along. But we're not here for that now. We're focusing on the expensive games first. We've got Earthbound. There's so much stuff in here, and later we will take a look inside of the box and let you guys know exactly what condition this is in. Clay Fighters there on the N64. This was an incredible cabinet and I think it was just absolutely fantastic to see. I've never seen a copy of Earthbound in the wild. This was my first time. Obviously here in PAL regions we didn't get it. It was an NTSC only. It does go for a pretty penny and it was priced at £1,900 in here, which by eBay sold standards, if I can get my words out, is actually cheap. Or it's definitely on the cheaper side. I know £1,900 is not cheap, but it is a bargain in terms of what it is selling for. Did I buy it? No, I did not buy it. I'll let you into a secret. I'm not a huge fan of Earthbound. I would probably pay £300 for Earthbound. That's how much sentiment it holds for me. So it literally would be a collector's piece and I just couldn't justify £1,900. But my question to you, the viewers, Team 24, would you have paid £1,900? If it's a yes, great. If it's a no, what would you have paid? Perhaps you own a copy. Who knows? I know that Metal Jesus had a copy donated to him many years ago. Very, very lucky. But nonetheless, this was a great little cabinet. You'll see this cabinet as soon as you walk in the door on your visit. Pretty cool figures and plushies there that really add personality and flair. For me, Vintage Gamer truly has that vintage feel. It's kind of, you've got to kind of feel it. You've got to see it, be in there to kind of feel. And if you've been before, you'll know exactly what I mean. In fact, I did a short just kind of sampling what was to come in this episode, and a lot of you guys said, I know exactly where that is. It's a great shop. Nick is a top bloke. So I think a lot of you will already know exactly what I mean. Now, again, as you walk in the door and you look to the right, you'll see this shelf here. We've got some NES stuff. There's some WWE figures on the bottom. We've seen some Snes bits. And at the end of this episode, we will transport back to my lady lounge and I'll show you the mammoth pickups that I actually got. I think I got some really good stuff here, and again, Nick really looked after me, so thank you, Nick. And I will be going down again soon. Just off to the right of the cabinets you've already seen, we've got this lot here, some nice handheld stuff. The Wavebird GameCube controller has shot up in price. I remember getting that back in the day for £12, and that was bundled in with the Wind Waker variant of a GameCube. So now it's kind of 50 to 70 depending on where you shop and what condition it's in. So it's nice to see that. But let's take a look. I'm going to have some native audio here for the innards of Earthbound. It's so nice. It is beautiful. Oh god, yeah. It's really nice. So nice. There you go. It's like a little relic, isn't it? Is that the rarest thing you've got in? Would you say? Pretty cool, right? I don't think any other retro game shop in the United Kingdom would have a copy of Earthbound. If you have, we want to hear from you. Please reach out to me on social media if you're a shop owner and you have a copy of Earthbound. I'm going to hedge my bets that nobody has. And I think that's just one of the unique points that when you go to Nick's, you know you are getting something that is just like the wow factor. I think when I went down in 2018, he had a Netty Rosie, and then there was this DuckTales release on the NES. There was so much obscure stuff in that episode, but my YouTube channel has changed a lot since then in the way I film things, but I do remember those two pieces really sticking out. So we got some GBA stuff here to the left. When you walk in, you see the green chairs there. Just walk past the green chairs and this wall is on the left. They're closing for a refurb soon, so I think next week Nick said he is actually closing for a refurb, but they do a lot of sales on their Facebook, so again, go and give them a follow. I really liked the Sega Mega Drive games in the cabinets. I want to know what you'd have picked in that. If you need to rewind it, please do so. But I actually picked one up, and again, we'll show you later in the episode. But if you didn't want anything in the cabinet and you perhaps wanted some shelf fillers or some games that some cheaper stuff, turn around 180 and you've got double rows of Sega Mega Drive. I didn't go through every kind of double row on here, pulled out the odd bit that I perhaps didn't recognise. There was the odd Genesis game merged in with this, like there. It was nice to see that kind of different cover art for Lemmings. But there was some wicked stuff. You can guarantee you're getting like just a bit of everything. And I like the variation here, just a little bit of everything. Not in alphabetical order, as you can see, which did make it a little bit difficult for the hunt, but sometimes that throws in the element of surprise as well, because you don't actually know what you're getting. Again, I was like, well, is there anything else back here? Maybe we can have a look. And there was a lot of soccer titles, football titles, sport titles in general. But again, you might go down there and think, hey, I don't have a copy of Mega Games, or, FIFA 96 if you want to play FIFA 96. So really nice, cool variation. And there's more Mega Drive games in the side room as well, which we'll see later. Big box PC, big box Amiga as well. Really fantastic stuff. How nice is the box art on Micro Machines? And check out Worms 2, by the way. I mean, this place oozed charm, and I'm a huge Amiga advocate at the moment. Been doing a load of stuff on the Amiga, but yeah, pretty darn cool so far. Really happy with this one so far, guys. Love it. I need a few seconds of your time to tell you about channel memberships. If you guys want to become a channel member, click join from the main page or the second link in the description. There are 3 tiers, all with different perks for you if you want to become a team member. Thanks for your time. Let's continue with the video. Now pay attention. If you saw the very first few seconds of this clip, there was a back room off to the right. We're going to have a proper good route in there because there was a whole heap of Super Famicom games, really obscure, out of this world, eccentric stuff in the back of there, as well as a couple of arcade machines. Nick, if you're watching, do they work? I forgot to ask you. And if so, why are they not out in the shop? That would be such a cool addition to have some arcade machines working, especially the Sega Rally one. Plenty of Sega continuation with the glorious Saturn. SimCity, right here, pick that up in an episode where we went to a shop called Electric Town in Yorkshire. I will link the last 5 retro game hunts in the card so you can go straight to another episode and dive into this virtual retro game shopping experience with me. We got so much stuff. But there was one Saturn game that caught my eye, which we're going to take a look at the minute. At the minute? I can't speak today. It is Battle Arena Toshinden. This was a pretty battered copy. It didn't have the manual, and you'll see just how, like you can kind of see here. And Sega Saturn titles, the cases are, there you go, it kind of ripped there. It was already ripped, by the way, Nick, I didn't do it. The Saturn cases are pretty battered at the best of times, and had that been in better condition, I would have picked it up. Now, this weird thing here, I wasn't quite sure what that is. If anybody knows, I want to hear from you. What is that Wild Things power brick thingy-mabob? And then again, just completely random, a Japanese N64 game here. I have the gold variant Japanese N64. So I did actually pick this up. Spoiler alert. pretty darn cool, this room. If only PS1 cases and spines had a little bit more flair to them, I think this room would look even cooler. It was a room that you picked out on the YouTube shorts, and people were pretty shocked at how many PlayStation 1 games there were. It really is cool to see, guys. And here's the additional Sega Mega Drive games that I mentioned earlier. So if you don't see anything out on the kind of main shop floor, make sure you dive into this room and have a little look. There was so many things around here. We've even got some GBA games at the top there, along with some random peripherals, which was really nice to see. We've got this Sensible Soccer game pads there, so pretty darn sweet. And perhaps Atari's your thing. Well, guess what, guys? Guess what? There's some Atari games in here. Atari games are not my thing. It's a bit like, it doesn't engross me as much as the kind of 16-bit stuff does. Obviously Sega Mega Drive, Super Nintendo is my absolute baby, but I'm a sucker as well for handheld. And again, spoiler alert, I picked up a brand new handheld variant, albeit a reshell. In the back, again in the backpack, more cool Amiga games and big box PC. Let's dive into the secret room. It's not really a secret at all. Nick said I could go in. We're in the back of the store. A lot of cool stuff here. If you skip it, you're going to miss some real gems. I do pick out, the bulk of this is me actually just picking through the Super Famicom stuff, but I do kind of show you a few more bits and bobs. There's a really obscure PS3 variant, which I've never seen before. So keep an eye on that. And for the Batman fans, you can let me know how obscure you think this is. Got some, didn't want anything to fall. Luckily, nothing fell here. A lot of things were on kind of teetering break point, but I was fortunate enough not to let anything fall. I did actually bang into one of the cabinets throughout the other part of the store, but we'll skip that. But yeah, a lot of this cool stuff here. Picked up, I think, 3 Super Famicom games. Obviously, I don't know what they are, but just kind of went on the pictures there, and I thought, hey, that looks really random. I'm going to give it a go. You'll see some random N64 stuff merged in as well, as long as you keep your eye on this screen. Now, this Metroid DS variant, I've never seen that before, and then just a kind of base unit DS there. Not quite sure what they're worth. I'm not very up on my DS kind of pricing and things, but maybe there's some people watching that could tell me. Didn't pick them up, but I was too hooked on the Super Famicom stuff, if I'm brutally honest. But we'll let the music carry this next section. Don't skip it, and let me know what you think. I'll be scouring those comments for your feedback. And there it is, the PlayStation 3 Batman Begins movie pack. What? I never knew that existed. But check out these monitors as well. I think it just really encapsulates how quirky, I think that's a great word, quirky, vintage gamer is. So we are going to head back to the Lady Lounge and I'm going to show you exactly what I picked up on this hunt. Absolutely incredible. That was my first time ever seeing, feeling and witnessing Earthbound in the flesh. It was priced at £1,900, which actually by eBay sold standards is pretty cheap. But I just couldn't, like, I'm not a huge fan of Earthbound as a game to play, so for me it would have been maybe me diving into a kitchen I'm trying to buy. I just couldn't justify that much money. So, but it was really cool to see. But what I want to know from you is, would you have bought it? Would you have paid it? What would you pay for a box complete copy of Earthbound? So now I'm going to show you what I've got, and I will just let you guys to please subscribe. There's absolutely hundreds of retro game hunts and factory things here on the channel. I physically and emotionally don't know what more I can do to get my content out there to push us to that silver play button, which I've been yearning for years. So please hit that subscribe and please help me out and share these episodes, maybe on Reddit, maybe anywhere across the internet. But anyway, that's enough for that. Let me show you what we've got.